I have your attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house, and this is our, of course, Merry Christmas Eve show. And of course, here in New Zealand, we've already into Christmas Day, but of course, most of the world is still in Christmas Eve. So this is kind of what we've named it today. Hope you guys enjoy it and having a good time out there with your family and friends. I'm just going to go through the markets today, see where we've got to. Certainly, the stocks had a Christmas rally. Crypto, not so much. And so we're going to get into all of that, and of course, cover a little bit of the updates of the projects as well. So I hope you guys enjoy. All right, so don't forget also to share the show around if you are on X and not doing some sort of family activity at the moment. Let's get that. So I'm going to hit that and get a copy of the link, and you can share it around if you're out and about. So let's see here. So share show on X. Now, here in New Zealand, it is Christmas Day already. It's very sunny outside, so that's really, really cool. That's not so common. So it's great to have the sun out and about. And I know if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, you probably got your wintry snow or at least winter conditions. So yeah, here it is very sunny indeed, which is quite nice. Often it's overcast on a Christmas Day, but not this year. Yesterday was looking like it though. Yesterday was looking for our Christmas Eve, but anyway. All right, so that is the show shared around on X. That'd be really helpful. Now we're going to get into we're going to get all the markets. That's basically what we're going to do today. We'll get a few little project stuff and a little bit more than that. I just want to pull up one thing first before we kick everything off. And let's see if I can pull it up in good time. Yeah, that was pretty easy. Let's see. There wasn't a lot of kind of news overnight, so to speak, but we have had some pretty good numbers, I think, for this particular project. So we're going to get to that. All right, so let's kick it off. Without further ado there. So we have the stock market making record highs. So we did have a Christmas rally in stocks, but crypto didn't really get to enjoy too much of that. Dow and S&P 500 close at record highs as Santa rally starts. That was kind of the storyline there for the 24th of December. And we had the Dow Jones up 0.6%, 289 points. So a big day, and it finishing at 48,731 on the index. You can see I've got the weekly little chart here, and you can see that actually, the Dow Jones there, we changed that, is up pretty strongly for the week. If we look at the last year, which we've had the records, right, we can see that that's pretty much at all-time highs. And if we look at the match chart, we can see, look at that chart. Wow, it goes all the way back to 1970, right? So what's it there? Back 70, yeah. It's funny, it goes back virtually my whole life is in that chart. Isn't that crazy? That's pretty insane. So pretty crazy there in the old chart. That chart is the Dow Jones, and it's pretty much my life and time frame. That's crazy. We got the S&P 500 is up 0.3%, 22 points to 6,932. Also at record highs. Look at that. That's pretty crazy, right? Look at that. Wow. And we're expecting that to continue. If we look at the last year, you can sort of see it's at the all-time highs as well. So Dow Jones up nicely. The NASDAQ, let's look at that. So the NASDAQ up 0.02%, 51 points to 23,613. That's certainly not at the all-time records at the moment, just slightly off. We look at the year chart there. We had the high still back in the end of October there. So still got a bit of work to do. It's about 400 points below the all-time high. So the tech companies and all that sort of stuff and the NASDAQ still to play out. But Dow Jones, S&P 500 at record highs for Christmas. Got that nice little rally in the last week as well. And the NASDAQ there up quite a bit too. Let's have a look at the week for NASDAQ. A little bit more demure, unlike S&P 500, which, a lot more uppity, especially the Dow Jones. So big week there, Christmas rally. We got the S&P was also at 6,932, so not quite 7,000. Still got a few more days in the year to go there, right? US dollar at 97.65. That's recently depreciated in the last week. You can see that. So it's continued. In fact, the last month, look how it's gone down there. So it was over 100 a month ago, just over 100 now, 97.65 US dollar depreciating there. And if we look over the whole year, which is back when Trump was in power, on the 20th of January, it was 109. Approximately, is that 20th? That's 17th. Where's the 20th there? 20th was 109, yeah. And now at 97, so it's come down a lot, right? So down about 12 points on the US dollar. Now, commodities, West Texas at $58.35, down slightly today. Brent oil, $62.29, down slightly as well. Gold at the moment, though, which has been having an absolute tear, is up slightly. Down slightly, and we're at 4,506. So we're just off the all-time highs, I think. So got the month of the year just off all-time highs there. So amazing for gold. Silver, even more spectacular. Silver there, look at that. Wow, $71.65. And of course, that is all-time high. Look at that. Wow, that's all-time. Right back to the 1973 or so. And so, yeah, but look at that at the moment. So definitely, if you've got silver, start selling a little bit into this move, because it's we've got the range going 75 to 125. It's just at 71.68. So you could consider start, selling a little bit here and there. All right, so that is the cool news. So we'll see where we end up there. Now, obviously, we've got the Fed news. At the moment, the Fed rate is we've got 4 weeks and 4 days to go to the next Fed meeting. We only got 17% chance of a 25 basis point cut at this stage, but we've still got 4 weeks and 4 days to go to see whether we can get a bit of a turn on that. And we'll get an announcement of a new Fed nominee and all that sort of stuff, which will take probably 90 days based on history as well. So that's kind of where we are with the old interest rates. That's going to get us into crypto generally. So we'll do that next. Do that. And we've got the market cap results. So let's do that. Obviously, stock market had a nice Christmas rally, but not so much in the crypto market. So we've got the crypto market at 3.05 trillion, up 0.3%. So it's a little green today. We've got Bitcoin up 0.6%, so a little green there too, 87,704. Ethereum is down slightly though, 0.3% at 2,949. And that's despite buying from key players out there. We've had obviously Bitmine buying more, and that will show up in the disclosure. We'll talk about that later. And we've had another company buying as well, which we'll get to. All right, so BNB at the moment up 0.7% at $847. XRP at number 5 up down 0.6%, $1.86. Solana at number 7 down 0.4%, just below $123. Tron at number 8 down 1.3%, just below 28 cents. And number 10 is Doge, down 0.3% at just below 13 cents there. So those are our top 10, and the best performer at the moment is BNB, followed by Bitcoin in the last 24 hours. Over the last week, best performer is Ethereum, is it? Yeah, Ethereum is still the best performer over the last week, up 4.7%. So it's a positive sign, right? Top gainers and top 100. Let's check out that. We've got Canton taking over from Midnight, 31%, and of course Midnight 28%. That's Charles Hodgkinson's privacy chain. It's up 28% for the week. Sky up 20%. That's moved up a couple of spots. Uniswap's moved down 1 spot, I think, or 2 spots. That's at 18.5%, and then Zcash is at number 25, 17.7% down. So a nice move in the privacy sector, and of course PulseChain looking to take advantage of that with PrivX and stuff, and of course Liberty Swap, right? Top gainers in top 1,000: Mini Dodge, Zero Base, and SQD. They're up in the top 1,000 at the moment. Trending overall, Pudgy Penguins up 5.3%. Of course, Tom Lee's little favorite thing. He's got one of those Pudgy Penguin dolls or something in his office. Nero and then Alinea up trending right now. So that's overall. That's where we are. So not a lot of action there at the moment with the with crypto. We didn't get to enjoy so much of the rally, and so will we get it in the new year? We shall see, or will it be slightly delayed? Even during the quiet period, we are entering the quiet period, right? We've got a couple of days before Christmas Eve that we could get a bit of a movement, and then we get a lot of people going on holiday, right? And that goes all the way to at least the 7th or the 10th of January. It's pretty quiet during that period, right? Between New Year's and that time. So, about, let's say, 10 days, arguably. All right. Was it 2 years ago? I think 2 years ago on the 9th, we got the Bitcoin ETF was launched. I think it was 2 years ago, yeah. So we got a bit of action after that. So presumably. It's also the same day that the Provec sacrifice will finish. So it's kind of a nice convergence there. All right, so let's jump over to Bitcoin. Bitcoin at $87,586. We've got the monthly averages here. So the 50 moving averages in yellow, that's at 65,000, just below 65,000. So we're still well above that. And the chart's still looking pretty healthy for our big run. And of course, remember yesterday we looked at the rainbow charts and we got plenty of room to move on the rainbow charts right at the bottom, just about almost at the bottom. So we've got plenty of room for that banana move in 2026. Let's go to the daily chart. We can see we've still got that death cross playing out, but we are in a consolidation zone, just, I guess, 60% down from the top there. The top of it was about 93,500. The bottom around about 84,600, and we're at 87 at the moment. So as long as we hold this and don't go for another leg down, that's the key. Obviously, the downside people are talking about. The next leg would be, something like 77, 78. Fingers crossed we don't go down there during this quiet period. All right, so let's jump over to, I did see a big trader that was shorting Bitcoin, which did very well shorting Bitcoin, has actually ended their position and it's going long. So maybe that's a bullish sign too. We'll see. Ethereum at the moment, on the monthly, $2,945. Also kind of consolidating for a long time, all the way since the February this year. So it's February last year, I should say. It's kind of been in the zone for a long time. So it really hasn't had that big rally yet, guys. So we've got the average at the moment at $2,536, and so we're above that at $2,945. So we've obviously had a lot of accumulation in this time, particularly since June this year, which would be about here. So that's going to take its toll on the market later on. So 2026 looking pretty good there. So still feeling pretty nice about that. We've also seen Raoul Paul and Tom Lee, the two bulls, pretty bullish about 2026. Although also outlining some of the risks. Some of the risks, of course, we'll get to in a minute. So the last big buy, the big buy has always been Tom Lee's Bitminer Mission. They have consistently been buying up, their actions following their words. They've been buying more too over the last couple of days, so that's going to be showing up in the next update here, probably on the 27th or something. So that's pretty cool, maybe 27th, 28th. So that's going to show up here. We've also had another one of the companies, I can't remember the name off the top of my head right now, but they were buying Ethereum as well, and they've just raised another $1 billion to buy some more. So that's pretty exciting. And we'll see where they lead. I don't know if it was Ether Machine, but that could be pretty cool. So Bitminer Mission at the top right at the moment, 4,070,000 Ethereum in held. Sharp Link, we haven't seen much action from them for a long time, 863,000 Ethereum held, and then Ether Machine at just below 500,000. So that's a place. So we have seen the second player coming in and buying more. All right, so we'll get an update, as I say, a bit later. So currently the strategic ETH reserves control 5.63% of all ETH at the moment. That's where we are. Now I want to talk about that a little bit more, is that some of the things that we face moving here next year. Obviously, next year is hyper bullish. We have a perfect lineup of things to come with 2026. It really is as good as it gets, just about. We're expecting a lot of upside as well from the White House around a number of crypto policies as well as investment. And that will flow through to U.S. states, to institutions, corporations, and global sovereign states as well. So we're expecting quite the cascade there. Now, the one thing, we do have a couple of challenges. We obviously have the midterms. We have the Supreme Court the declaration on the emergency use of tariffs. So we have those. We also have the government shutdown, which is probably the closer one. And so we have those issues. Are they going to Democrats really going to repeat that again and again and again? I don't think it turned out too well for them last time. So we've still got that in play. So we've got those kind of risks still out there in terms of volatility in the first 6 months of next year. And then on the longer term, we've still got the main, let's call it, it's not really a black swan, let's call it a grey swan event, which is, China, Taiwan, which is always out there. Of course, that would change the whole world pretty quickly. So that's just something of note. All right, so that's going to play, and of course, people have been talking about if they did try to do something like that, then 2027 might be the year they do that, and so we'll see. Well, that's at the end of this bull run, right? This 26, 27 golden age of America. On the positive note, we do have all the benefits coming from Trump's military getting $776 check for Christmas. That's going to 1.45 million people in the military. And then we also have the no tax on ticks, so all the refunds from the IRS. They've said that's going to be pretty big, so that's going to be a big buying demand. And potentially we could have another tariff check as well. So we'll see how that plays out. That might be further down the line. So a lot more spending power, and of course, people are getting wealthier with their 401ks with the stock market rally. So you got a lot of leverage there. They are also looking to change the banking lending, overnight lending, which would increase potential spending from lending from the banks about $1.5 trillion. So we've got a lot of stuff playing out there, and so But the only way you can, if you got all that increased spending, you've got to be able to increase supply, and that's what's different about Trump and his economists, is that they are expanding the supply rapidly so that they can not only absorb a lot of that spending, but also keep a low inflation environment while they're growing GDP potentially at 4 or 5%. So pretty exciting. And of course, that will help take care of a lot of the other issues around the trade deficit, which is already happening, the federal deficit, which is already happening, and then ultimately the public debt, right, that $38 trillion. So they've got a number of tactics to try and get rid of that, right? And crypto may end up playing a role in that. So that's kind of the backdrop at the moment. All right, and of course, Trump raised about $21 trillion this year to advance, the America to the next technological age, what we call the intelligence age, particularly around AI, robotics, and other things. So excited about where that all head as well. We got Brennan in the house there. Merry Christmas, Super. Merry Christmas to you, Brennan. Merry Christmas from Christine. Hey, Christine, always a pleasure. Merry Christmas. The verse says, ETH is slept on by a lot of people. It is indeed. You're absolutely right. So that's from the verse there. Big shout out to you. And Merry Christmas from Sandy Beach. Superman, everybody. That's really nice. I appreciate that, Sandy. And on behalf of everybody watching, Merry Christmas from Brenton. Merry Christmas, Brendan. Hey, you guys are BFFs. They're both mods in the Discord and on YouTube, so I very appreciate that, and doing a great job. All right, so that's kind of the backdrop at the moment. So looking pretty good. The ETH narrative is hot, man. I mean, we're just in that quiet storm. Sure, in the chart, it's been quite a long consolidation. Now, obviously, we know that we're talking about the manufacturing index. We know that that's been below 50 a lot of the year for a very long time now. And so once that goes, the US economy is going to be really picking up next year. So we're expecting that to go well over 50 next year, and that will be a boom for the US. And of course, if the US is the big consumer and they're getting even more wealthy, then the rest of the world will benefit from that too. Right? There's more demand, and so even though it's America, make America great again, doesn't mean America alone, right? So everyone else will get the benefit of that. Also, in America, back to fighting for freedom. We saw some sanctions on EU today because we know that the EU tyrants are taking away freedom and doing a lot worse of stuff, but we won't get into all that today. Well, they got all that strategic stuff. So that's where we are right now. So looking pretty bullish for 2026. All right, so that's kind of cool. Let's jump over to the PulseChain, shall we? Now, PulseChain, of course, still under selling pressure. We've had a little bit of selling pressure there. I think we might have actually turned green, have we? Yeah, fortunately, just before the live stream, we were actually in the red on PulseChain on the Richard Card course. It does look like just at the time we're going to cover it on the live stream, it's gone green. So I'm happy about that. So let's get to the charts here. I thought I was going to have a slightly red story to tell, but it's a slightly green story. Very slight, but still kind of cool. Sandy Beach says 2076 will be awesome. Yeah. The golden age of America begins. We already saw the hints of that with the GDP numbers that came out yesterday. I think we covered that. That's very, very good numbers. And so we've got to be very, very excited about where everything's going. The economy is performing, and next year after, going to be pretty amazing. All right, so let's get into the results. We've got day 957, guys. This is almost closed for the day. I think it's a little while, about 25 minutes or something. We've got Pulse at quadruple 0165, down 0.5%. Now, we have had a number of large accounts selling down. Obviously, people talk about Rackham's wife. So that's all out there, right? You can go check that out. Particularly today, we saw some selling around USDX and all the related tokens there. We know that Rackham had picked up some of those on the high. So you can decide what side of the ledger you feel about that. But we've got quadruple 0165 up 1.5%. That's at 60% of the mean sacrifice rate right now. PulseX at the moment, quadruple 013 up 3.25%. And we've got the buying bin has gone up slightly at 8.32% based on GoPulse numbers. I say GoPulse numbers because of what we've used for a long time. Now we have PulseChain Sats website. They have slightly different numbers. So I'm not sure the differences there, but they seem to be slightly different. We've got Ink token at the moment, 67 cents, and that's up 3.6%. We've got Hex on PulseChain at 2/2700th of a penny, and that's up 1.7%. EHEX is at 3.91, so it's a bit better than yesterday, because yesterday it was 3.88, remember? And then we've got the combined price of EX and PX at 3,600th of a penny. Now, right now, PulseChain is super cheap. Now, obviously, if you're a bear, then you're going to say, well, it could get even cheaper if we have another leg down. I've heard that talk out there. But at the moment, it's pretty damn cheap. And we're sitting around 16% on Pulse and 13% on PulseX. The ratio for Pulse to PulseX is 1 to 1.26. So, you're still getting about 25% more there. So it's still pretty amazing zone to accumulate right now. So that's kind of interesting. All right. So the question also is, will we get something? Will we see a bit of a God mode candle in New Year's Eve? That's kind of a typical date. We will see. We'll see whether we get anything like that happening on the chain. We obviously got Liberty Swap playing out a lot of really alpha infrastructure around privacy, Tornado Cash and Railgun and all that sort of stuff. So there's a huge ecosystem being rapidly deployed by them. We're looking for version 2, right? It's going to be allow a lot of plugins. So they call it hooks. We're just going to call it plugins because it's kind of cool. Hooks or plugins, whatever. So we might see that on New Year's Eve, and then of course that could usher a channel where you can pump a lot of capital into PulseChain without being seen, and then when they hook it into Puppeteers, you can pump up all the markets, and it's like invisible man. That's the idea. All right, so that's kind of cool, and we may see a God mode candle. Who knows?
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment, because it's easier to get them, because it takes less economic energy, because there's less of it for sale.
All right, so we could get one of those. Obviously, we've had a lot of selling into those moves. We've had a lot of people try to front run, stuff coming over the chain. So we've got a few of those issues are out there. But at some point, I think we'll probably get a chance to, absorb that, get a higher price floor, and move up. So we'll see. We'll see how we go. But if the biggest whale sacrifices are selling the chain down consistently, that is certainly a headwind, right? That's difficult to get through. So take note of that. All right, let's jump over to the gas prices. We've got 218,000 beats right now, 1/10 of a penny for PulseX swap, so still super cheap every day, delivering the cheap prices. We got the active values been like this for like 5 days now, I think, 52,640. Not much change in that. The bridge right now is 78,100,000, so we're pretty similar to yesterday from memory. I did go through the bridge data yesterday, and I switched around my snapshot just so that I didn't get confused with that like I did yesterday. But 19th of December is my snapshot, and that is 6 days ago, so almost a week. And we were at 77.4 million then, so we're still up from then. So take heart with that. That's 6 days ago. So we're up, how much? 77. So about 7, let's call it $750,000, just approximately. So that's kind of where we are. We're definitely up on the ETH though too, which is the other positive thing. We're down the DAI, we're up on USDC, and we're slightly down on USD Tether. So that's some of the numbers here. All right, so that's pretty much it. Let's go to the volumes on the old PulseChain. Well, at the moment, we got 6.4 million volumes, so we're getting pretty used to this sort of range between 4.5 and 6.5 million. Of course, typically the top end during the working week, and then the weekend on the bottom end of that range. And at the moment, we're still getting some green candles slightly. So we've got Green Wick here, been around for 11 months, up at 17%. Teddy Bear from James Maria on a bit of a move today, up 10%. We've got Dev C Coin up almost 10% as well. A Troper there, James Maria, 9%. So James Maria a little bit on the move today, interesting enough. The ARC, been around for 4 months, it's up 9%. Remember from OG Web Chef, sitting at number 8, is up 8%. And then we've got all these Teddy Bear peers all the way to number 10, up about 7%. So those are our top 10 right now. Moving further down at number 12, we've got SolidX sitting at 49 cents. So it's still holding up, interestingly enough. And that's up 4.5%. RSI oversold, up almost 8% as well. Reserve Tay there, up 5%. And then we've got Richard Hart Cause dominating all the way through to number 19. 19. And then number 20 is Doubt Token, up 3.6%. And I think this is the third biggest RH meme coin, but behind Most, is it? And Peacock, right? I think that's right. We can pick that up, pull that up later. Actually, we might pull it up afterwards. So it takes us all the way down. Look at that. A lot of Richard Hart Cause mixed in there. Get to number 25. We've got the BBC token from 9inch. Now, 9inch pretty much dead DEX, isn't it? For the most part. And so it's tokens here. I'm surprised it's doing anything, but its markets can move around. We've got more Richard Hart Core peers dominating all the way to number 28. And then number 29 there, Reserve Tay again. Number 30 is Pepe. It's up 3%. And that's going to be 31 now. It's flipped of 31, but it's up to 3%. That's going to be an interesting one to see. Obviously, that's all around the brand, right, of Pepe or Pepe. Pepe. All right, so that's there at the moment. Let's have a quick look at it, see where it's looking on the chart. This is the daily chart there. Had a nice little couple of days recovery from the bottom and sitting at 0004 now. All right, so we'll keep a lookout for that. Liberty at the moment up 2.8%, number 33. Mafia, of course, which was doing well yesterday, wasn't it? I think it was, and that's up 3.4%. We were waiting for the game launch for the Mafia, and scrolling all the way down here. So we'll quick look at Mafia, see where that is launched at the moment. Yeah, so Mafia's still looking pretty good, right? Only up 2.3% now, but actually still looking pretty good on the chart. Must be pretty close to launch. Has anyone seen anything, an update about that? Let me know. Of course, it's from Jacob. Jacob's got 3 projects, right? Mafia. He's got, on-chain bet, OC token, which is coming up. And then he's got, of course, PUSD ALGO, what Cult DeFi and I call his flagship project, which we're looking forward to. Now, those first 2, of course, could launch, anytime in the next sort of month or 2. But PUSD ALGO has got to wait for Tetra, then Signum, Oracle, and that means that we'll probably get an update in January, but the earliest it might launch is maybe March, particularly if ETH has had that early run in January, February. Then if we can get ETH well in ahead of 5K, let's say towards even 6-7K, then that should give the collateral amount. But we've not heard much about the collateral backing on there. They may have changed the tokenomics a little bit. That makes it a lot easier to launch that side of it. Maybe that's why they don't talk about that much, that side of it. But I'm tracking it. I've been tracking in the wallet and all that. So we'll see. But Mafia there, the website does look like it's almost ready to go for the go live. And go live basically means you'll be able to kill other players and of course get access to the vault. So that's a big deal. So we'll keep up to date with that. What else we got to go on here? So that's kind of where we are now, up to 36. We've got Curve at number 37, up 2%. A lot of Richard Hart Hex tokens. Liquid Alone snuck in there at number 39, up 2%. We got Pump Tires Die up 2% as well. Moonex at number 45 at 1.5%. Sparta, of course. We saw Wendy's for Tendies there on Crypto Cabana show. Also in the Monster thread the other day. That's up 1.4% today. A little bit moving there. Swarm is up 1.2%. Unity from Cryptographics, number 49, up 1.2%. Most token, of course, we talked about that with the RH memes, sitting here at number 50 at 1% at the moment. Let's have a quick look at most token. We can see it's kind of at the bottom of the range there, but let's have a look at the pulse ratio. It's probably more important, and it's still down as well. So price and ratio still look pretty similar there, down at 338. Now, unlike Peacock, which has Liberty Swap, these just have to go up with the with the community that they've got pretty much. Number 51 is 9mm. It's at 1%. Now, 9mm, of course, our second biggest DEX. And we've really only got two big DEXs, and that's a decentralized exchanges for you guys. And that's at 1%. And yeah, that's just ticking away. They keep delivering, just delivering. So when PulseChain does get a move up, these guys are really going to climb. And you can already see they're actually kind of climbing at the moment. So they've been doing pretty well delivering. And of course, if you got NFTs, you get a share of the revenue. I think the revenue was like 20K a month, something like that. But let's look at the pulse ratio. It's at 500 right now. Yeah, looking pretty good, actually, isn't it? That's the weekly chart, by the way. But it's looking pretty good. Way off the bottom there. Look at that. They had that spike down there. But let's take the bottom of this range at 220, and they're up at 500 here over the last couple of months. So 9mm delivering there, ticking away, sneaking up on people. Because when PulseChain does reverse, this thing's just going to go, it's going to go, pew! All right, so kind of cool. We've got Finvest at number 53 at 1% from the OG Web Chef. It's kind of the grandparent, $2.25 right now. And what else do we got? The One Sacrifice Project there from B Roots and Ian Heinisch, up 2/3%. Sava here, the content reward token. It's up 0.5%. It's been around for 6 months. Apine Pulse there a little bit there. SCADA also a little bit green there from Mute the Supply, right, team. They've got pretty innovative tokenomics. So it's one of those really clever niche projects. And that's pretty much flat. 57 tokens are green at the moment. Everything else is slightly out of the money. We've got X Game here, 1100 to the penny. Peacock down here. Yeah, Peacock here got it sold off a little bit earlier, but it's just bouncing back. It's back at 1 cent right now. It was just down a little bit there before, but it's kind of cool. So let's have a quick look at Peacock there. We're going to talk about Peacock now. So we got you had a little bit of a sell-off there in the 4 hourly. Let's look at the hourly chart. Just down a little bit there. A couple of sell volumes. Look at that. 1, 2. Yeah, pretty significant sells actually. 18 and 7 to 18. So probably could be the same wallet selling down both of those. Let's have a look there. That's a pretty decent sell volume for the liquidity size. So we'll go to, I don't know, $1,000, shall we? And see what's in there. So yeah, we had a couple there. Is it the same wallets? 58. So we had wallet F8 there selling down. So it does look like it's slightly different wallets there, but certainly, yeah, we had that pretty much one big wallet there. Sold it down. Yeah, that got sold down. It went down all the way to 9,500 there, and has bounced. 9,300, 9,400. Oh, even 9,100. So sorry, 3 hours ago it was down at 9,100. It's bounced way back from there, isn't it? So it's kind of cool. Now let's look at the ratio, because it was actually doing pretty well in the ratio there leading up to Liberty Swap V2, right? So Liberty Swap V2 has been delayed. Obviously, they were supposed to launch 1 or 2 days. So obviously, they're just taking a bit more time to get that up and running. And it's perfectly fine, right? Because it's such a big deal when it's going to have this new hooks and plugins coming. It's because it's going to be evolving into a giant ecosystem. So yeah, it is what it is. Short-term dip is your gain, as they say. So sitting at 607 at the moment on the ratio. Recent high there at 657. All-time high back here on the 3rd of November at 1,029. The top meme token, and of course it's a utility meme, probably got the best chance to be one of the $1 billion meme. It's definitely do that. They're going to have to do quite a lot to do that with the ecosystem, but still, it's definitely plausible in there. I mean, if you we'll see what happens when they have their plug like version 2, and we'll see where that all heads. But when they're going to start doing Aave forks and a lot of other TVL projects, that starts to increase the demand and etc. We get a lot of speculation, all that sort of stuff. Could be pretty interesting over the next year for sure. All right, so let's have a look at the Liberty Swap while we're talking about it. So Liberty Swap here said, "Stay strong, friends. PulseChain friends. Liquidity always finds its way back, and early 2026 is closer than it feels. When you wait until the robin returns, spring has already begun without you. Best opportunities are born in uncertainty. In the quiet winter, where the doubts is thick and conviction is rare, those who plant their seed in the cold are the ones who harvest when the market blooms again." So got nice little inspirations there. So one thing about Liberty Swap, they're always very positive. They're positive and they like to have a bit of humor. Now we're going to scroll up to the latest stuff. 6 hours ago, they said we have updated our documentation with detailed information on Railgun private bridging, how it works, and several important notes there to be aware of. So if you're an influencer out there or something like that, then it's probably well worth if you can make videos. We haven't seen a lot of influencers making videos about this, but hopefully we'll start to see a little bit of that happening moving into the new year. I think Crypto Coffee's done a few little videos, but and so is Crypto Sparbook. And I posted some of those on YouTube. But probably need a little bit more of that once they get to version 2. 6 hours ago, good morning, friends. Day 1 day to Christmas. Indeed it is. Of course, it's Christmas here because we're a day ahead, right? A day ahead here in New Zealand and Australia, of course, Pacific Islands. Big shout out to the Cuzzies. And then 6 hours ago, we got Liberty Swap version 2 is deploying on our UI. So it is deploying, guys. We're in progress. I actually thought this might be a bit later, but actually they're just at the top end of when they said it would launch. So they have really tried to make it. So that's kind of cool. 6 hours ago is deploying on our UI. The team is working. So some pages that do not affect trading will be temporarily disabled. We will bring them back up in a few hours. So woo! So that's probably maybe a result to some of that selling that we saw earlier. So that is kind of cool. That is really neat. So let's scroll down. Look at that. We've got public, private. We've got optimized route for ETH to wrapped ETH. And it's got an example of the ETH there. Liberty Swap V2 is deploying on our UI. The team is working. It's 6 hours, so some pages that do not affect trading will be temporarily disabled. We will bring them back up in a few hours. So it's kind of cool. That's 6 hours ago, right? So we may have seen, I'm not sure where there's at the moment. We'll see whether we've got more updates here. 5 hours ago, what is this a response to? Someone made a question. Something about the documentation. This is cool. Yes, we are building routes that allow users to swap directly into Pulse for gas fees and other PulseChain assets by the end of the year. This is on the back of, Pulse directly is needed. Otherwise, you have to do fun with the gas fee. That's cool. What about Pulse on Railgun? In 2026, we plan to fully rebuild the privacy wallet and native Railgun deployment on PulseChain to support all PulseChain assets and to enable connectivity between PulseChain Railgun shielded balances and shielded balances in other Railgun networks. So that's basically just shielded means private. You can't see it in the contract ecosystem. For the first time, users with Railgun shielded balances on different blockchains will be able to exchange those balances directly without unshielding assets. That's pretty cool. This approach is expected to significantly strengthen the combined anonymity set across all supported blockchains. Kind of cool. What else have we got there? Do you mind if I work on this project with you guys? Absolutely. We'll design everything to be able to access on screen really, be able to help you review and validate your UI. That's kind of cool. So we've got quite a few comments in there. You'll be able to go into fork Railgun contracts. If it is possible that we or another team could fork Railgun contracts, proof of innocent contract could be forked without modification. So that's sort of a little question there. What else? I think that was it. So kind of cool. I always like reading the comments, right? Sometimes you pick up some really good alpha when you do that. So it looks like they're still in progress with that from the looks of it. We'll go to Liberty Swap Finance and have a quick look at that. But that's kind of where they are at the moment. So I think that's still processing, is my guess. On there, we got the US. Yeah, this is looking pretty normal from what. So they're going to have. It's got a lot of back end stuff, I imagine. That's for the hooks that they're going to hook into there. We've still got the Peacock DEX, the PDI DEX, liquidity in there. Kind of cool. And of course, the docs is what they upgraded, right? So that's the docs there. They were talking about upgrading. Core architecture. Yeah, we might go through this on another stream here. But I love the Solana PulseChain bridging too, right? It's kind of cool. Core architecture. Yeah, so pretty cool. They've even got a roadmap on here. I'm not sure how up to date this is, but we got September. Yeah, not sure if they've updated this. Looks a little bit old, but kind of cool. All right, so exciting times. I'm sure they're going to give us another update. Probably when they're finished, right? All right, so that is pretty much it on Liberty Swap. We'll keep a lookout for that. And yeah, that's the ratio right now on the old Liberty Swap there. All right, so let's go back into the rest of the market. We'll keep tabs on the Liberty Swap thing and hopefully get an update from them about when it's all said and done. Version 2, guys, it's massive. Going to open up the whole ecosystem. and they'll be able to just plug and play lots of DeFi into that system. And it's a bit like having, as I say, DeFi sitting in the river of bridging swapping flows. Pretty awesome. Pretty amazing. You can't do much better than that. All right, so kind of cool. Let's scroll down a bit further here. We were down to 50 something, weren't we? We were all in the green, actually. We were down to reds. So what else is down? Let's go down to the far part here. So we've got this time dividend at the moment down 12%. A little bit of opportunity there probably. XUSDC down, of course, with the apparent wallet from Rack and Michelle selling. Is what they're saying. I haven't checked any of it, so you have to go do that yourself. But it have got a bit of recovery there. Look at that sell-off there in XUSD. And I think Dirty Crypto made a comment about that. Now, there is a bit of a conflict between them and PDI community, so, take that for what it is. All right, so we've got the PDC, the Greys, down about 6% as well. Now, big shout out to that team. They continue to do some good stuff. So we saw Pre-Renana always doing some good videos and analytics on that, as well as they've updated their dashboards, right? A whole new refresh with the brand. So, they're still working and doing stuff. It's great. Vouch down here as well. Of course, number one validator, it's down 5% right now. And of course, a lot of these things like time dividend, Vouch, these get suppressed, of course, when Pulse is down. But when Pulse goes the other way, these are the sort of the blue chips that you would reasonably expect to get re-rated pretty strongly compared to a lot of things. So we'll see. Keep a lookout for that. Some interesting ones here. P Tiger from the old Crypto Tiger God. He's been out there shooting guns and doing lots of crazy vids. But that's currently sitting at 0.4 of a penny right now, down 3.5%. So that is some of the action there. Now talking about some of the new projects coming up, but we'll do that too. Have we got any more comments to be aware of? No, not at the moment. So we'll get into we are expecting, obviously we had True DeFi launch with the True 2X. That has done amazing. I don't actually have the latest numbers, but MVS Crypto, the editor of the Monster Thread, said that 50 billion Pulse had been deposited in there, I think inside 2.5 days, 3 days, something like that. I'm going to go check on the Telegram right now to see whether there's any updated numbers there. Not always necessarily see it, but that's a pretty impressive start, right? So actually, okay, so I got the latest stats. So let's bring up the latest stats here. I think this is pretty new. So let's bring this up, and bam. And it looks like I said 50 billion, right? So apparently it is now 24th here, 24th of December. 80 billion Pulse has now been deposited so far. Wow, this is really successful. Now, obviously, to have a big start in the first few days was really key to lay that capital foundation. It's done pretty well. So what's the day one X factor there? 7,800%. Day two, 7,300%. SRE has been activated, and you can see the Emmett chart there. So Emmett, obviously, I think it's going to be one of the first beneficiaries from investment. I think that's supposed to be on day 7 or 8 or something like that. Obviously, this is around the partner program, and they take 14% of the Pulse that goes in, and then they invest it in some of these partner projects. Emmett, I think, is going to be the first one. So yeah, that's pretty amazing. 80 billion Pulse, not bad. Now the question mark, I don't know. I mean, is it going to are they going to head towards, obviously they're heading towards 100 billion Pulse, but are they going to be heading towards 1 trillion Pulse? Remember, there's only about 17 trillion Pulse outside the OA, isn't there? 17 trillion Pulse in the market, potentially. I mean, a lot of it just sits inactive too. 80.6 billion there. So not bad. Let's see where that goes. Only day 4, current stats, amazing. So really a lot of action there. If you're after a lot of humming, that's a place to be. Right. So they have referral codes for the first 45 days too, don't they? You got to find out how that system works. We did have an interview with the team a couple of weeks ago. We were going to have an interview with them soon, but we'll see when they're ready to do a live stream. All right. Talk about the action. Maybe after 7 days. Maybe they might do one after 7 days. We'll see. Some pretty impressive results there so far. So congratulations to them. Bam on that. All right, so that is kind of cool. So we had that launched, and that's going pretty well, as you can see. Now, the other one we've got coming up, of course, is Coin Mafia. This looks like it. We don't know when it's quite a build up. They're probably waiting for the sentiment to turn a little bit before they launch, but it's getting pretty close. So I don't know whether it's going to launch before New Year's or it's going to launch in the new year, but it's certainly, it's coming. It's coming. They've been doing non-stop promotions there. Obviously, a little bit of controversy today around the UXUSD and PDC and things like that, but you have to decide where you land on that. That's where we are. So a lot more updates there. It's not about revenge, it's about redemption. Coin Mafia, my team did it right. So cool videos. I'm glad that this thing is sticking with the kind of ape meme there. Where do you plan on deploying? Coin Mafia. So they've got all these chains. Apparently they're going to have, I think 299 or over 300 here. I think it's over 300 chains. You can see a lot of the ones here. You got that you can see on the screen there. Let me just zoom that in a little bit. Oh, I guess I can't. We've got Ethereum, OP Mainnet, BNB, Unichain, Polygon, Sonic, Arbitrum, Avalanche, Base, Katana, and Pulse. Oh, they got testnet there, but yeah, and of course PulseChain at the top. So not bad. All right, so looking good. They've got another screen there too. Yeah, Ethereum, and then you can once you've selected the chain, you can then select the deployment of the DEX. So they got if you do Ethereum, they got Uniswap and they got Sushi Swap. So it's kind of cool in the configuration. So nice little stuff there. Another more sneak peeks from the team. What else they got there? I think that's it. Is it 24th? Basic information there. So got a little video there. That's launching a token. So coin name, ticker. They got the description there. Ticking away. Description there. So pretty normal for a launch site. Then they got the token configuration. Choose the chain. Choose the graduation DEX. Then they got this stage 3 as social links, your website, Twitter, Telegram. It's pretty normal stuff. The DEX nomination is not normal. I don't normally get that option, but the social is pretty normal. First buyer, obviously you can be the first buyer. Obviously, if you're launching it, I think you can get up to 10%, right? I think it's up to 10%. Let's go back on that a little bit. So speeding a little bit there. So I've got first buyer, optional be the first buyer. Review and launch. Got the review and launch. Very nice. So very slick. Very, very nicely done. So it looks like the end there. So kind of cool. That is a little sneak peek. What else they got? Yeah, I think that was it, right? So those are the latest updates there. So it's getting closer. And of course, we'll see when they launch. So they're going to launch they haven't launched Christmas, right? So are they going to launch? Maybe they launch Christmas Day in the US. I don't know, but probably before the New Year's or after the New Year's and New Year. We'll see. But that's the next another big project launching. Now we know if they do launch at that time, we know that Tetra is coming out, right? So Tetra is expected to launch between Christmas and New Year's. So that's coming up. That's huge, innovative, and we'll try and focus on that tomorrow on US Christmas Day. We'll see. So that's kind of cool right now. And of course, we've got Tetra. The other one that's sitting out there as well is Volts 369 from Fast Abdul. And so we're looking forward to that launch too. So maybe that might be before New Year as well. Maybe we're going to have potentially triple launches before the end of the year. We certainly know that Tetra is set up for that. So with these other two, Coin Mafia and Volt 369, question mark, but certainly look like they're getting closer. All right, so that's kind of the play. Did I miss any? I don't think I missed any, did I? No. New year, of course, of Tetra launches. We've got Signum, and then we should get an update for PUSD ALGO in January, if that's the case. And then what else? Coinwell, of course, and Coinaki from Rack and Michelle may launch in January at this rate. We'll see. Obviously, with a bit of a turn up, we get a bit of a turn up. He's probably looking for that with Coinwell, the DeFi ecosystem. So that's out there. So those are some of the immediate ones coming up. All right, so that was pretty much it for that. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That was an update. How long did we take? 48 minutes. Not too bad. Not too bad. So on that said, we should have LibbySwap V2 probably rolled out. Hopefully we'll get an update later today. We shall see. But certainly it looks like it's been doing stuff for 6 hours at least. And we should get an update from them. So that would be kind of the Christmas present, because that's going to open up the alpha DeFi ecosystem probably. And they're just going to keep building that out. It could be pretty amazing. They got the advantage that they're the bridge, the bridge that a lot of people are using, and it's super slick, super fast. And they got the privacy as well. And that's going to become increasingly popular. So kind of cool. Hopefully we see a lot more of the PulseChain influencers do how to use videos to get the retail book using privacy, because a lot of the big boys and girls use it, But if you retail, you could get used to getting a railway wallet and all that sort of stuff. But they're going to do their own modified version, going to make it a lot easier for people. So that should really ramp up the retail adoption in the new year when they focus on that. All right, very cool. We're 50 minutes in the hour, so I think we're going to wrap up there for Christmas Eve show. Tomorrow I'll do a Christmas Day show. That'll be a lot of fun. It's already Christmas Day here, of course. But I hope you guys enjoy your Christmas. Merry Christmas. And of course, for us Christians, we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. And what an incredible event that is for us. And of course, that flows into Easter with the resurrection of Jesus Christ, the God who became man, of course. And we're excited about that. But enjoy the feast. Much joy to you. And enjoy your Merry Christmas Eve and all the fun things. If you're going to Christmas carols or something like that should be a lot of fun. Until then, I'll catch you guys tomorrow on Christmas Day in America. And of course, that will be Boxing Day here in New Zealand. We box ourselves around. But it is sunny here on Christmas Day in New Zealand. A very sunny day indeed. So I'll probably get out inside and enjoy a bit of that too. Take care. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the follow button as well. And I'll catch you again for tomorrow for another daily show covering all the best that there is on the crypto and the PulseChain. I had one final update, didn't I, about X1. So X1 chain from Jack Levin does look like XDEX will be launching very, very soon. So XDEX there, that's going to be game on for the old X1. That's price discovery and, of course, innovation. So I just want to mention that at the end of the show. So we'll be doing another X1 chain show soon as well. All right, Hex Faders in house there. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody, for sure. All right, take care, and I'll catch you again tomorrow. Bye for now.